Hi, in this video I will show you how to import and run the Sunday playlist using ProPresenter. First off, let me start by thanking you for taking the time to serve the Lord and bless the congregation. As the visual tech person, you have a very important role to play on Sunday services. If this is done poorly, it really can distract from people singing and their time of worship with the Lord. And also, if it's not done well during the sermons, it could really distract from the message that the pastor is trying to present. On the other hand, if you do this well, it really blesses the congregation as they are able to worship God through song and praise. And it really can enhance the message that the pastor is trying to convey through the sermon. Off the bat, I have two tips for you for doing this well. Tip number one is to stay focused. Okay, clicking through slides is not anything technically difficult, but it's very easy to get distracted. And I'm speaking from somebody that has messed up multiple times, and it doesn't take much to get off track. So stay focused. And tip number two, in doing sermon slides, is don't get ahead of the pastor. We'll talk more about that, but it's very important to let the pastor say his line before you click the slide. Don't get ahead of the pastor. Okay, so assuming that everything is connected, that the projector is properly connected to the computer, first you need to import the playlist. The way to do that is to go up here to File, click Import, Import File, and for me, I have created a test playlist. Now, you could get this file in different fashions. Either you could download it from the email that was forwarded to you, or transfer it over from a thumb drive, or even download it from our Google Share Drive. But nevertheless, here is the test playlist. Select it, hit Import, and it's going to prompt you some questions. Whether certain slides already exist in the library. Do you want to replace it with the one you're moving? And for the most part, you can click Right Over, because most of the time you'll get the latest version of the song or the announcement slide or the sermon notes. So just right over the old ones is fine. So you could hit Apply to All, right over. Same thing when it comes to these slides. So if it asks you, the easiest thing is just to write over everything. So the new playlist will show up here, Harvest Test Playlist. Click on that. So before service begins and as the worship team practices, you could simply select the pre-service slides and click the first slide. And that's going to start the 10-second loops of these images that I have set up. Before we go further, let me go ahead and explain quickly the layout of the ProPresenter program. Up here are the toolbars with various buttons. For example, here there's a clear all, clear slide, clear the background. There are some slide editors here. This is the video/image button. If you click on this, it'll bring up on the bottom the various slides, motion backgrounds and slides that we have. And most of the time you don't need to deal with this, but in case you need to pull up a new background for whatever reason, this is how you would do it through the video image button. Over here on the right, you have the audio button, which will bring up audio and sound. We don't have any music for this example, so I'm going to close it. This is the output button that will show you what's on the screen and display it on your laptop screen. If you click on that, it basically shows what's being projected. Volume control is here. This is to clear any audio. So these are the buttons up top. So again, if I hit clear all, it'll blank everything out. And just click the slide to start. Over here in this screen, this is essentially what is being sent to the projector. So you can always look at this, and this will mirror what is displayed through the projector. Below it is the library, and this is where all the songs and the sermons are located. Okay, sermons, announcements, and all the songs. You can select these things and drag it into the playlist. I'm not going to do that right now, but that's how you would do it. So this here is the playlist, and this is what you're going to be using in the beginning to select the different sections. So if you click on this, you can see the different sections. There's pre-service slides, a couple of song slides, welcome announcement slides, the sermon, communion if we have communion, response song, post-service slide. So to get to these sections, you simply click on it and it'll display on the main screen. If you click on the songs, it'll show up. And and this screen is the screen where you have all the different slides. Okay, so most of the time you'll be working off of this section, clicking various images like so. Now most of the time you could just scroll up and down or drag this and show, go down the playlist. But every once in a while, if you're not careful, this button right here called contiguous, if you uncheck that, it will only display what is highlighted here. So if you only selected this song, that's what's going to show. To get to the other section, you have to click whatever it is that you need. Okay, but you can't scroll up and down. So to scroll up and down, make it contiguous. Okay, so again, going through the playlist, while the worship team practices, simply select pre-service slides and just click the first slide and it will play this in a loop. Okay, so there's not much else you need to do. Once the service begins, you'll start with the song, and when the musicians start their intro music, or when the worship pastor is ready to start and starts talking, you can go ahead and click the background slide, and then when they are closer to singing, you can click the title slide to let the congregation know what song it is. And then here are the verses. So again, just a reminder, stay focused. It would be best if you keep your focus right here on this screen, or to look at the projector so that you are following along and maybe even singing along. Okay? So that's the song part. And again, to get to the next song, either click the next song or just scroll down. All right. So again, when you get to the next song, click on the background, the title. Okay, so again, here it's not technically difficult, but it's so easy to get distracted, so stay focused. All right, so once that's done, you want to clear the screen by hitting clear all. Okay. Now again, sometimes for whatever reason you might mess up and you might click on just the lyrics, and you could see over here that you've lost the background because you've only clicked on the blank slide because you already hit clear all. So not to worry, all you have to do is find the background image, click on that, click it again, and it'll show back up. Okay? All right. So now if you want to just get rid of the verses, the words, I mean, you could hit clear slide. Okay? And that clears just the words. Okay. Okay, so let's say that they're done singing. Announcement time. Same thing. Hit the first slide and just follow along with the speaker, and hopefully these things match. If they don't match, don't worry. You can always just clear it all, blank it out if it's not matching, and then when they get to the one that is matching, then click on it. Okay, so done with the announcements. Here comes the sermon slides. So as Pastor or whoever the speaker is comes up, go ahead and click on the first image slide. And again, as just follow along. At this point, you should be looking at the printout of the sermon. Usually there is the entire sermon outline printed out and highlighted with the sermon number. So just follow along. And again, just a reminder, my tip for this, don't be ahead of the pastor, because if you're ahead and you display a slide that the pastor hasn't already said, people will be looking at it and not listening to the pastor. But on the other hand, there's a magic that happens, that if you time it just right as the pastor is saying whatever he's saying or making the point, and towards the end, either the middle or the end of what he was saying, and you just click the slide, it really could enhance what he's saying. So like in this next example, if you click the slide and he hasn't said where to communicate our lives, blah, 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 then that might be distracting. But if you time it as such, he says, where to communicate our life and our words by the plausibility of Christianity. And as he hits the word plausibility, and you bring that up, then it just feels right. And it's going to help the audience kind of hook onto what he is saying. Okay? So, and again, if it's the wrong slide, not to worry, just hit the clear all button and just wait. Okay? You'll see verse slides, no big deal there. I do want to point out certain slides have bullet points that will fly in. For example, in this slide 19, and I'll draw your attention, this is hard to see, but there are 3 little dots down here, and there should be some notation on the sermon outline that you have in your hand. So if you see this kind of slide, you click on it, it's going to show the very title of the it's going to show the title of the slide, and then as the pastor makes point 1, you click the same slide again, and then it brings in point 1. And when he's done with that and he moves on to point 2, you click on the same slide again, and that brings in point 2. You see these lights show up, and again one more time. Okay, so you'll see these bullet point slides. Just be on the lookout for this. And it's not hard, just click the same slide and it'll bring in the bullet points. So that's pretty much for the sermon. Okay, so, oh look, in this example, you have a response song that looks like this. There's nothing in the background. So sometimes that happens as we transfer files from one computer to another, that it's a different image, whatever it is. So what you need to do is select the video image button up top, and then you can just quickly look and just pick a background. So if you click on this and drag it over, and there's your background. Okay, that's how that works. And when you're done, you can close the video image. At the end of service, after the final prayer and the goodbye, go ahead and select the post-service slide, and that'll be done. And that's pretty much it. That's how you do the Sunday playlist. I pray that it goes well, and I hope you find it kind of fun in doing this, in doing the slides. Thank you for watching.